Greetings, Star Citizens, and welcome to another beautiful day in the verse. And what you guys just witnessed is probably the best, in my opinion, the best music video we've ever got from CIG. And I was just absolutely blown away. Now, let's be honest, when it comes to news with Star Citizen, we haven't had much to talk about for quite a long while now. And that was until yesterday. Yesterday, we got an absolute bombshell of information. We got loads of new things that I'm excited about, and I'm sure you're excited about. But first of all, I just want to mention anyone that's wanting to get a ship, because I know there's a lot of people that sit there and say, I wanted this ship, but I missed it. I've done the same thing where I've wanted a ship, but I've missed it. There is actually a few ships that I am wanting to add to my fleet, but I missed them when they went on concept sale. And now, or this week should I say, is your chance to pick them up. So from today we get capital ships, which I would say if you're interested in, go and grab, but I'll be honest, they do not last long. The Javelin, I think there was 50 Javelins that went on sale. They went within seconds. They went before they even announced that they were up on the website. They were just gone straight away. So you've got probably no chance of getting those. And the Idris also went pretty damn quickly. Not as quickly, but it did go very quickly, especially when the javelins ran out. I suppose a lot of people just thought, okay, whatever, I'll settle with the Idris if I can't have a javelin. However, the Idris did get more added. They restocked it, if you will. They added more than what they said they were going to add. So as of making this video, it's at 285. Though, don't stick to that number. That will not last. That will sink very quickly. But if it runs out, I'm assuming they may add more again, because they said they are selling them over the weekend. So I'm assuming they wanted it to last over the weekend. They didn't expect it to sell out so quickly. And to be honest, I did not expect the Javelin to sell out so quickly. But regardless, as well as that, we also get these new custom paint jobs for ships. And we'll get one each day. So for day one, we get the Gladius Valiant, which looks absolutely insane. It's not the most out of the world paint job from what they've added. There are some that are a little bit more extreme, like shiny gold or bright pink and bright red and white and stuff like that. This one's a bit more sort of realistic to military standards, but it still looks extremely incredible. I love the color scheme. I love the stripes, the orange stripes at the back. They just look insane. But for day two, which is obviously today, Saturday, we get all RSI ships as well as the Gladius Valiant again. So you get a second chance to get that Gladius skin, probably because obviously the anniversary was sort of towards the end of the day, especially for Europe. It was towards the end of the day, so they probably just want to give an extra chance. Now for day three, going on to Sunday, we get all Drake ships will go on sale, and we get the Gladius Valiant again, so you get a third chance. So you've got all the opportunity to get this Gladius Valiant, and I think these ones are limited. I'm not sure if all custom skins are going to be limited edition, because there are a lot of custom skins which they talked about, but I think these ones that go on sale are limited. They are sort of advertising them as being exclusive or limited or somewhat limited edition paint jobs, so I'm not sure if you can get these ever again. I would assume you probably can, because CIG typically don't like to restrict something completely from people. They like to give people hope that they can get it again, especially since not everyone's going to be there to pick it up. You know, people might be on holiday or what have you, and they start writing tickets screaming at CIG that they missed their opportunity. So going on to the Monday, so day 4, we will get all MISC ships, which I am excited about. I'm tempted to pick up a MISC miss. A Freelancer miss, should I say. Freelancer MISC miss. I am tempted to pick that up. That is one of the ships, as I said, starting off this, that I missed out the opportunity to get. And I regret missing the opportunity to get, because it looks like a lot of fun. I love the Freelancer, but the thing I don't love about the Freelancer is it's incapable of combat, or it's not as capable as combat, whereas the Freelancer miss kind of makes up for that. As well as the miss, we'll also get the Hornet Wildfire, which I'm not too excited about. I think it's probably one of the more boring skins in my opinion. It still looks cool, but just not for me. So on day 5, the Tuesday, we will get all Anvil ships, and we'll also get the Hornet Wildfire again. So they are definitely giving plenty of opportunity to pick up these ships, and also the grand finale, which I'll speak about in a moment. So day 6, the Wednesday, we get all Origin Jump Work ships. This is one that I'm also excited about. I'm tempted to pick up my M50 again, because the M50 is one of those ships that I regret selling. I did have an M50, but I ended up getting frustrated with racing, and I ended up selling it. Though I would like to get it again, because I miss it. It's a fun ship. So day 7, the Thursday, we get exotic manufacturers. So more than likely this will be sort of like the alien ships, so like the Blade ships, the Genesis ships, the Glaive, the Cartu Owl, the Merchantman, the Prowlers, what else is there? Scythes, which is Vandal, so the Vandal, and yeah, possibly Snub Fighters as well, but I'm not too sure if they fall into their actual categories such as Origins and what have you. But moving on to day 8, which is the Friday, is another one that I am excited for, and this is the Aegis Dynamics and the Saber Comet skin. So I also forgot to mention that the Origin Jump Works and the Exotic, so the previous two, also have the Avenger Titan Renegade skin. But yeah, day 8 is another one I'm excited for, the Aegis. There are a few Aegis ships I'm tempted to pick up that I've sort of melted in the past. And going on to day 9, we have the Grand Finale. So the Grand Finale is going to be all previous ships from the day. So if you're working all day, or if you're on holiday, or you're going away for the weekend, or whatever, your internet crashes on you like mine did last week, and you just cannot access the internet for a certain day, and you miss out on the ship that you was looking forward to, when the Grand Finale, which is going to be Saturday, November 26th, you will have the chance to get all the ships. All the ships will go on sale, so that's your opportunity to just sort of melt all your ships and get the ships you want. Whatever you want to do, that is your chance to do it if you miss your opportunity.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. Accessing control point. Accessing control point. Accessing control point. Control point gained. Control point gained. Accessing control point. Accessing control point. Control point gained. Control point. Control point gained. Accessing control point. Accessing control point. Control point gained. Control point gained.
The Prowler's, it's been a really interesting piece to work on. For me as an art director, it's basically, a new generation of style that we get to work on. When I first joined the project, there was a lot of things already established. So the Asperia Prowler essentially is a reproduction of a Tavaran-based rapid deployment ship. Essentially, you start with a blank canvas. You talk to the writers and get the lore. Speak to the other art directors. This is probably the first time we've really all probably sat down right before the get-go and just sort of said, okay, what are the things that we were focusing on for these guys? Josh had already done some character work, so we took a little bit from that, but characters don't look like ships necessarily. Humans don't look like attack helicopters. And according to the law, the architecture is meant to be based on Henoism. So we've sort of been going for a very sort of slab-sided, brutalist kind of feel. That was kind of the initial brief. Slight hint of, Egyptian. As we discussed further, that was there at the start, and it's very slightly still there. But in total, this has had 6 concept artists on it from start to finish, because we had a very tight deadline. There's always a high amount of pressure because it's all exploratory basically, and I've got to give Chris some things to work with basically. So concept artists work in different ways, so I've kind of used that to my advantage. So initially we did a 2-week sprint, coming up with just 4 very sort of different looks, basically different configurations, different styles, vertical or horizontal, or no cockpits, all sorts of things, and then just present it to Chris. Say, hey Chris, what do you like? And so he's like, well, like bit of A, bit of B, which is fine because I kind of liked all the designs anyway. So it doesn't matter what Chris picks as long as I can get behind it. That's cool. In my head, I imagine it. You'd be using it in a traditional sense. You'd be flying into hostile zones. Maybe you'll have 2 or 3 of them. They'll come in, land. It's the full sort of Black Hawk Down treatment. Troops jump out, and then the pilot and co-pilot just whiz off to safety. The emotional feel of it, basically, when you see this, it should be just like, heck, what's this flying in? It's been more dealing with shape language, the cut of the lines, it's quite minimalist, so the lines are there for a reason generally. I've been calling it like a radar deflection kind of material, so it's kind of like a bird's nest. It kind of feeds into the whole avian feel of the ship. And then the interior, we've gone quite different to what we've been doing for the human ships. It's basically quite oppressive. It's like this dark red, and it's all dark red. I was sort of thinking at the time that basically when you see the troops come out, if they come out of this exit, because there's multiple exits, right? It's coming out of the mouth of hell, basically. So it's just got this dark red, and then you've got this oppressive black hole kind of thing. And then as you make your way through to the cockpit, the red slowly fades off essentially, and it goes more towards blacks and greys with just a hint of red. Just so for pilots, there's less distraction. And we've kind of just sort of been featuring like a sort of 3-line sort of motif, which we took from the character design that Josh did. and that is fed into the ship basically in lots of subtle ways. There's a heavy avian feel with the ship, some in subtle ways, some not so subtle. Fans will see straight away that it's got some large VTOLs basically, and in landed mode it's a real hunched, aggressive. It's a bird of prey, it's classic basically. And then it also has like a special ability, special feature, whatever you want to call it, of sort of these defensive blades that come out, but yet to still fully realise the sort of theory behind it all, like in terms of lore, but certainly it helps with flight, low manoeuvrability, but also when it comes into land, VTOLs go down, all the blades pop out, which people may call feathers, but I call them blades, and they provide like a defensive position. So when the troops come out and they, that again, you've just got these huge doors that open up, and rather than just one large single sliding door, which often these ships have, we've got 4 individual essentially gates, and those have Tavaran shield tech in them. So it's kind of like the Idris in the hangar. You fly out and you go through the force field. This is like a personal version. That's kind of one of the visual hooks of the ship. So the ship could be flying along with all its armoured doors up, but it's still got its energy shields there, so the troops can, you'll be able to look out. This is what I hope, right? And you'll be there in your harness and you're just looking out and you're just seeing the landscape go by, or whatever it is. The other 2 visual features, avian features, we've got a split tail, so it's like a swallowtail, and then the head is obviously very sort of eagle-like. And this time we've been able to essentially remove the cockpit. There's a head to this thing, but it's essentially one-way glass, so you can't see in, but you can see out, the pilot can see out, so it gives us this really nice monolithic kind of armoured feel, and again lending to that whole sort of Tavaran warrior hardcore heroism, and so we've just been building on that. I think as players they'll really dig it, and there's nothing like it in the Star Citizen universe at the moment.